You were involved from the start. Just talk to us a little bit of how you got involved with the franchise and what your role was.
Yeah, so I really got brought on because they found my car. I had a Toyota Supra, which was yellow at the time, and this older gentleman stopped by and talked to me at this car show. We struck up a rapport, and then a few days later, I got a phone call at my office. Now, at the time, I was working for Super Street Magazine's parent company, right? And I was running a drag race series called National Import Racing Association, which catered exclusively to Japanese tuner cars at the time. So he found the ad in one of the magazines, and he called me up blind, not really realizing that I was the same guy that he spoke to at a car show. And he said, "Hey, we're working on this little movie called Redline, and we're looking for, cars that look like the one that is in your ad, which happened to be my yellow Supra." And I said, "Yeah, we can help you out. I'd love to have a discussion with you." So he invites me to a restaurant just down the street. It was in Beverly Hills where I was working. So I go, nice restaurant with this guy. He puts a script on the table, a $100 bill, and says, "This is for your time. I want you to read it and tell me what you think." I said, "Okay." So we talked about a few things about cars and what it's going to be and all that sort of stuff. And I got on a plane, I read it, and I was laughing. It's like, this is terrible. This is so campy, so wrong, so inaccurate, so cheesy. I love it. I said, there's something here, though. There is something here, though. And so I got back. I called him up. He said, "Why don't you come up to your office and bring that Supra of yours?" I said, "Sure." So I pull into the Universal side lot, and this guy answers, very stoic looking guy, security guard guy. And he says, gets on the phone. "He's here." Like Charlie Brown's teacher in the cartoon. He goes, "Look, you pull over there and don't move." I thought I was in trouble. So I pulled over. Then I'm waiting there like 5 minutes. A security cart comes by with a little siren on the top and all that cute little thing. Like, oh boy, I'm in studio jail. I don't know what's going on. They cordoned off the car with velvet ropes. He says, "Don't go anywhere. Just wait here." And then about 10 minutes later, the whole entourage comes down. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, the director, the executive producer, Neil Moritz, Creighton Belledge, all these people that I would learn who they were later on. But for that moment, I thought they were just going to lunch at the commissary, the restaurant, which was right next to where I was parked. So I started giving them a tour and all that kind of stuff. And I take Rob Cohen, the director, for a ride on Highway 101 in Universal City. If you've ever been to Universal Studios in Southern California, you know that freeway is pretty packed. But I found a gap. So I jumped on the gas. The target top was off, and Rob looks over, and the boost comes on, the turbo. And Rob Cohen screams, "Is that the turbo?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "Is that the NOS?" Sorry. He says, "Is that the NOS?" I said, "No, that's the turbo." So we get back, and he jumps out of the car. "Okay, this is the car that we're putting this one in the movie." And I'm like, what just happened here? How did this happen? So they invite me upstairs, and we start talking about cars, and I put on my diplomatic face. I said, "Well, look, it's clear the script. You guys have done a lot of research, and you have a basic understanding of what's going on here. But the sequence of cars, what cars are you being used, and what roles could use some work?" And so, okay, you're hired as technical advisor, and that started a multi-year adventure.